When you're living on a sailboat, especially without a fridge, what you eat can make or break the trip. I've spent years cruising with limited space and zero refrigeration, and I've learned the hard way which foods last and which ones turn funky before you hit the first anchorage. So, today, I'm sharing 20 foods that truly last out here on the water. These aren't just for emergencies. They're the backbone of real meals, daily comforts, and the kind of provisions that keep morale high even when the weather's rotten or the nearest store is 100 miles away. Let's dive into the galley and talk about foods that can handle heat, humidity, and the rocking life aboard, without needing a single degree of refrigeration. Canned meats are one of the most reliable staples aboard a sailboat without refrigeration. They come fully cooked, sealed, and ready to eat, which makes them perfect for long-term storage and instant meals. Tuna, chicken, Spam, chili, and various stews offer a variety of proteins and flavors, giving plenty of options for both simple and more creative dishes. The canning process makes them shelf-stable for several years, and they withstand the motion, heat, and humidity of marine environments without issue. Many of these products can be eaten straight from the can or quickly heated with minimal fuel, which is ideal when conserving energy or cooking in rough weather. Plus, their compact packaging fits easily into small lockers or storage bins aboard. With no need for refrigeration, they offer peace of mind and nutrition even when far from a grocery store or port. Low-acid varieties like meats and stews tend to have longer shelf lives than high-acid foods, like tomatoes or citrus, which makes them even more appealing for extended cruising. A well-stocked locker of canned meats helps ensure balanced meals are always within reach, regardless of the conditions or duration of the voyage. Dried pasta is a dependable and space-efficient carbohydrate that suits life at sea extremely well. It requires no refrigeration and can last for years if stored in a dry, airtight container. Pasta comes in numerous shapes and sizes, from spaghetti and macaroni to penne and rotini, each offering different textures and cooking times for variety in onboard meals. It's lightweight, stores compactly, and cooks quickly, which helps conserve both fuel and water. On sailboats where storage space is tight and resources limited, pasta offers an unbeatable combination of durability, simplicity, and versatility. It pairs well with countless ingredients, from canned sauces and vegetables to dried herbs, cheese, or canned meat, allowing for flavorful meals with minimal prep. Its long shelf life also makes it a strong fallback during long passages or when provisioning stops are sparse. Vacuum sealing it into portioned bags adds extra protection against moisture and pests. Some sailors even favor smaller-cut pastas because they're easier to cook and clean up underway. Whether you're planning a weekend cruise or a multi-week voyage, pasta remains a practical core item in any sailboat galley, contributing nourishment and comfort with little effort or risk of spoilage. Rice is one of the most universally trusted staples for long-term storage on a sailboat. White rice, in particular, is incredibly shelf-stable, lasting upwards of 4 to 5 years if kept dry and sealed away from moisture and bugs. It's compact and easy to store, with high calorie density for its weight, something every sailor considers when provisioning. Cooking rice does require water and a bit of fuel, but it serves as a versatile base for countless meals, pairing easily with canned meats, dried vegetables, powdered seasonings, or sauces. It's also a gentle food for the stomach, making it useful in rough conditions when appetites are limited or delicate. Vacuum-sealed rice packages offer even longer shelf life and improved protection against spoilage. Though brown rice contains more nutrients, its higher oil content shortens its shelf life, making white rice the more reliable choice for extended periods without refrigeration. In warm, humid, marine environments, it's best to store rice in airtight containers with desiccant packets or oxygen absorbers to ensure longevity. Whether used in stir-fries, soups, or eaten on its own, rice remains a versatile, durable cornerstone for non-refrigerated living on the water. Powdered milk, especially whole milk varieties like NIDO, is an excellent dairy substitute aboard a sailboat without a refrigerator. Designed for long-term storage, it typically lasts 1 to 2 years unopened and even longer if repackaged with oxygen absorbers. Unlike fresh or boxed milk, powdered versions don't spoil easily and can be reconstituted in small quantities, reducing waste and conserving limited water supplies. It's ideal for making coffee, tea, hot cocoa, cereals, baking, or even rehydrating into drinkable milk. NIDO, in particular, offers a richer fat content than skim alternatives, giving it a taste and texture closer to fresh milk. The powder is compact and lightweight, freeing up space in galley lockers while still delivering essential nutrients like calcium and vitamin D. Sailors often store it in resealable plastic or glass jars once opened to keep it dry and protected from humidity. It's a flexible ingredient that works in both sweet and savory dishes, from sauces and soups to pancakes and desserts. Without refrigeration, having a dairy substitute like powdered milk on hand helps maintain diet balance and comfort, especially on longer passages where fresh food is no longer an option. And canned butter are shelf-stable fats that thrive in conditions where refrigeration isn't available. Ghee, or clarified butter, is made by removing milk solids and water, leaving behind pure butterfat that resists spoiling, even in warm climates. It's been used for centuries in traditional cooking for exactly this reason. Canned butter is another long-lasting alternative, sealed in metal containers for durability and storage ease. Both ghee and canned butter can last for months or even years if stored in a cool, dark place. They're rich in calories, making them an efficient energy source for active sailing life. In the galley, they're perfect for cooking, frying, baking, or simply spreading on crackers or bread. Ghee in particular has a high smoke point, so it won't burn as quickly as standard butter when cooking at high heat. With fresh dairy unavailable or impractical aboard many boats, these products provide a reliable way to keep buttery flavor in meals without the risk of spoilage. Sealed tightly and stored away from direct sunlight or heat sources, ghee and canned butter offer both culinary comfort and long-term practicality at sea. Hard cheeses such as Parmesan and aged cheddar are surprisingly resilient without refrigeration, especially when stored properly. Their low moisture content and aging process make them less prone to bacterial spoilage. Wrapped in wax paper, cheesecloth, or vacuum sealed, they can be kept in a cool, dry place for weeks, or even months, depending on the climate. Parmesan in particular can last exceptionally long due to its dense, dry texture and natural rind. Aged cheddar fares well too, though it may oil slightly over time, which is more a cosmetic issue than a safety concern. These cheeses can be grated, sliced, or cubed, and they pair well with crackers, pasta, or as an addition to cooked dishes. Sailors often use hard cheeses as a flavorful protein and fat source, especially on longer voyages where fresh dairy is impractical. Some cruisers coat cheese in wax to extend its life even further. Storing it in a breathable cloth bag helps reduce sweating and mold in humid environments. Even if a bit of mold appears on the surface, it can be trimmed off. Hard cheeses offer flavor, nourishment, and satisfaction, all with minimal storage requirements and no need for refrigeration. Honey is one of the most durable natural foods known to humankind. It doesn't spoil, ever. Archaeologists have found pots of still edible honey in ancient Egyptian tombs. On a sailboat, that level of longevity is more than welcome. It's resistant to bacteria and mold because of its high sugar content and low moisture, which creates an environment inhospitable to spoilage. Crystallization may occur over time, especially in cooler conditions, but this is harmless and reversible with gentle warming. Honey requires no refrigeration, is lightweight, and stores well in glass jars or plastic squeeze bottles. It's highly versatile, serving as a sweetener for drinks, a topping for crackers or bread, or a flavorful addition to marinades and sauces. Beyond culinary uses, honey also has mild medicinal value. It can soothe sore throats or help heal minor cuts due to its natural antibacterial properties. For sailors, it's an ideal long-term sweetener that doesn't take up much space and never needs chilling. Whether you're baking, cooking, or just satisfying a sugar craving while at anchor, honey delivers long-lasting flavor and utility with zero waste and zero risk of spoilage. Vacuum sealing grains, beans, and baking mixes dramatically extends their shelf life and reliability in humid marine environments. The vacuum process removes air, reducing oxidation and preventing the growth of mold or pests. Items like lentils, flour, cornmeal, pancake mix, wheat berries, and dehydrated dough mixes can be stored for months, or even years, if properly sealed and kept in a dry place. On a sailboat where space is tight and freshness is critical, this storage method is ideal. It also helps reduce packaging waste and allows for efficient use of limited galley space. Vacuum-sealed ingredients can be portioned out, making it easier to plan meals and reduce food waste. For baking enthusiasts aboard, this method preserves the integrity of dry ingredients like baking soda and flour blends, which can be sensitive to moisture. Beans stored this way require soaking and longer cook times, but they're a rich source of protein and fiber. Pre-mixed baking kits in vacuum pouches, such as muffins, bread, or pancake batter, make meal prep quicker and more reliable, especially in rolly seas. Vacuum sealing transforms basic staples into dependable, long-life assets that thrive in the challenging conditions of boat life. Eggs can last surprisingly long without refrigeration when treated with traditional preservation methods. The most common is coating clean, unwashed eggs with food-grade mineral oil. This seals the eggshell's pores, preventing air and bacteria from entering and keeping the egg's natural protective bloom intact. Properly oiled eggs stored in a cool, dry spot can stay fresh for several weeks to even a couple of months. Another method is using pickling lime water, also called the water glass method. Submerging eggs in this alkaline solution creates a similar airtight seal. These techniques were standard practice long before refrigeration and are still favored by many long-distance sailors and off-grid enthusiasts today. The key is to use fresh, high-quality eggs and rotate them regularly. Preserved eggs can be used in all the same ways as fresh: scrambled, boiled, baked, or fried. Cracking each egg into a separate bowl before use is recommended to check for freshness. On a sailboat, eggs offer a compact, high-protein food that works in dozens of dishes. By extending their life without a fridge, these preservation methods allow cruisers to enjoy one of the most versatile staples, far beyond what typical storage would allow. Bouillon, cubes, and dried spices are compact, lightweight, and essential for flavoring meals on a boat with minimal ingredients. Bouillon cubes, whether chicken, beef, or vegetable, contain concentrated flavors and preservatives that keep them shelf-stable for years. They're used to add depth to soups, stews, grains, or pasta, and a single cube can completely transform an otherwise bland dish. Spices such as cumin, paprika, oregano, curry powder, and garlic granules are equally vital. Though they lose potency over time, most dried spices remain usable for 2 to 3 years if kept dry and sealed. On board, they're stored in screw-top jars, zip-top bags, or small plastic containers. Their low weight and long shelf life make them ideal for passage-making and offshore cooking. Salt and pepper are basic essentials, but more adventurous cooks often carry a full spice kit to keep meals interesting and varied. These flavor agents also help combat food fatigue during long trips where ingredients might be repetitive. Since many preserved foods can be bland, bouillon cubes and spices play a critical role in making meals enjoyable, even when you're hundreds of miles from the nearest grocery store. Peanut butter is a staple aboard many sailboats for its combination of nutrition, convenience, and longevity. It's high in calories, rich in protein and fats, and stores exceptionally well without refrigeration. Most commercial peanut butter varieties remain fresh for over a year when sealed, and even after opening, they can last several weeks at room temperature as long as they're kept sealed and dry. This makes it perfect for boats where refrigeration may be limited or absent entirely. Smooth or crunchy, it's versatile in both savory and sweet dishes, spread on crackers, stirred into oatmeal, or added to sauces and marinades. Its dense consistency means it packs a lot of energy in a small space, and plastic jars reduce breakage risk underway. Natural peanut butters that separate may require stirring but still keep well if oil separation is managed. It's also a morale booster. Comfort food that needs no prep. For sailors, peanut butter checks every box. Long shelf life, no cooking required, nutrient-dense, and adaptable to endless recipes. In stormy weather or lazy anchorages, it offers quick, reliable fuel that doesn't demand refrigeration, fancy tools, or cleanup. Just a spoon and a steady hand. Canned vegetables are one of the most practical solutions for keeping greens and fiber in the diet while sailing without refrigeration. These items are preserved through high-heat processing and vacuum sealing, allowing them to remain shelf-stable for several years. Their packaging protects them from the humidity and movement of marine life, and they can be stored in deep lockers or under berths without issue. Carrots, corn, peas, green beans, potatoes, and mixed vegetables are common options, offering flexibility across meals from soups to stews or stir-fries. Though some nutrients are reduced in the canning process, these vegetables still provide vital fiber, potassium, and flavor, especially when fresh produce isn't available. The only preparation needed is a can opener and a bit of heat, though most can be eaten cold if necessary. Some brands even offer low-sodium versions for health-conscious provisioning. Compact, reliable, and available globally, canned vegetables give a nutritional anchor to many meals at sea. Whether used as a side dish or a base ingredient, they're a dependable part of long-term galley planning that takes up minimal space and requires zero refrigeration. Oats are among the most storage-friendly and nutritious grains for a boat without refrigeration. When kept dry and sealed in airtight containers, they can last for well over a year. Rolled oats, steel-cut oats, and instant varieties each offer different cooking times and textures, but all share the same advantages: low weight, compact volume, and versatility. They provide slow-digesting carbohydrates, fiber, and a modest amount of protein, perfect for starting the day on a sustained energy note. Preparation is simple, requiring only water and heat, though overnight soaking can reduce cooking time and fuel use. Oats serve as the base for sweet breakfasts with dried fruit and honey, or can be adapted into savory porridges with spices, oil, or canned meats. In rough conditions, they're easy to digest and quick to clean up. For baking or thickening, oats can also be ground into flour or used whole in energy bars. Vacuum sealing or keeping them in moisture-proof bags ensures they stay free of pests and clumping. Their long shelf life, minimal prep needs, and balanced nutrition make oats a staple worth stocking on any offshore-ready vessel. Trail mix is ideal for sailors looking for a ready-to-eat, no-mess snack with a long shelf life. It's a compact, calorie-dense food that combines nuts, seeds, dried fruits, and sometimes chocolate or yogurt-coated additions. Properly sealed and stored away from heat and moisture, trail mix can last 6 months or more, making it perfect for day sails or extended cruising. The mix delivers a quick energy boost through a balance of fats, protein, and natural sugars. It's also highly customizable. Almonds, peanuts, sunflower seeds, raisins, cranberries, banana chips, coconut flakes, and more can be included based on dietary preferences or regional availability. Since no preparation is needed, trail mix is useful when the galley is off-limits due to weather or when quick nutrition is needed during a night watch or reefing session. Vacuum sealing portions improves freshness and reduces exposure to humidity, which is essential in marine environments. While the chocolate varieties may melt in tropical conditions, non-melt alternatives like dried apples or yogurt drops hold up well. Trail mix combines convenience, flavor, and fuel in one grab-and-go handful, keeping energy levels up without drawing on galley resources or requiring refrigeration. Dried fruits offer a concentrated source of natural sugar, fiber, and flavor, all while being highly shelf-stable and resistant to spoilage. Items like raisins, apricots, and mango slices can be stored for up to a year or more if sealed properly in airtight containers or vacuum bags. Dehydration removes the moisture that typically causes fresh fruit to mold or rot, allowing these snacks to thrive in the warm, humid conditions often found aboard sailboats. Lightweight and compact, dried fruits make a great snack and are excellent additions to oatmeal, baked goods, or savory dishes like couscous or rice pilafs. They also satisfy sweet cravings in a more nutritious way than processed desserts. In rough seas or during night watches, dried fruits are a quick source of energy that requires no prep or cleanup. Rehydration is also possible. Soaking them in water or juice can bring back some softness and volume for cooking purposes. While sugar content is naturally high, they're still packed with antioxidants and essential minerals. For provisioning without refrigeration, dried fruits are a smart, tasty, and functional solution that brings variety and comfort to life offshore. For sailors needing shelf-stable carbs without the bulk of bread, crackers are a go-to provision. Triscuits and similar varieties have a low moisture content and come sealed in packaging that protects against air and humidity. They can last 6 months or more in dry conditions, and some vacuum-packed versions stretch even longer. Crackers pair effortlessly with hard cheeses, peanut butter, canned meats, or spreads, providing crunch and variety to onboard meals. They're also excellent solo snacks during watches or light lunches. Many sailors prefer whole grain or seed-rich varieties for a nutritional boost, but even simple salted crackers provide calories and comfort. On long passages, having something crisp and ready to eat can break the monotony of soft or reheated foods. Unlike bread, they don't mold quickly or require baking. To extend their lifespan, it's best to repackage crackers in airtight containers after opening to prevent staleness from marine humidity. Lightweight, compact, and endlessly adaptable, crackers earn their place in any non-refrigerated galley setup, offering simple satisfaction without the need for heat, refrigeration, or even a plate. Unlike its perishable refrigerated counterpart, shelf-stable tofu comes vacuum-packed and requires no cold storage until opened. Found in many international grocery stores, especially in Asian food aisles, this version of tofu is processed and sealed to stay fresh for up to a year on the shelf. For sailors who want a plant-based protein source without relying on canned meat, it's a welcome addition. Firm or extra-firm varieties are best suited for slicing, sautéing, or including in stews and stir-fries. Its mild flavor readily absorbs marinades, spices, or sauces, making it highly adaptable to whatever's already in the galley. Once opened, any unused portion should be consumed quickly or stored in clean water and kept cool if possible. However, if used all at once, it fits nicely into one-pot meals and quick pan fries. Shelf-stable tofu is also lighter than canned meat and can be stocked in large quantities without taking up much space. It offers protein, iron, and a break from heavier provisions. For vegetarian or vegan sailors, or anyone looking to diversify their protein options, it's a practical and nutritious ingredient that fits the no-fridge lifestyle. Adding richness and flavor to both savory and sweet dishes, canned coconut milk is a must-have on boats without refrigeration. Its high-fat content and sealed metal packaging allow it to stay shelf-stable for 2 to 5 years. Used in everything from curries and stews to oatmeal and desserts, it delivers creaminess without relying on dairy. The texture ranges from thick and luxurious to more fluid depending on the brand and whether it's shaken before opening. Once opened, however, coconut milk does need to be used quickly or transferred to a tightly sealed container and kept cool if possible. To avoid waste, many sailors opt for smaller cans that can be used in 1 or 2 meals. It's especially valued in tropical cooking, pairing well with spices, rice, seafood, and root vegetables. Additionally, the natural oils in coconut milk contribute high energy density, a plus on physically demanding days at sea. While not a daily use item for every sailor, having a few cans on board allows for variety and flavor in a simple galley, all while remaining perfectly suited to an off-grid, no-fridge provisioning system. Nothing lifts spirits on a chilly morning or a night watch like a hot cup of coffee, and instant varieties are tailor-made for boat life without refrigeration. Sealed in individual packets, jars, or vacuum tins, instant coffee lasts for years without losing potency or flavor. It dissolves quickly in hot water and doesn't require filters, grinders, or special brewing equipment, making it especially handy on small boats with limited space. The taste has improved significantly over the years, with freeze-dried and micro-ground options offering bold, rich flavors that rival brewed coffee. Single-serve sachets are also ideal for portion control and maintaining freshness. Some brands even make cold water dissolving versions, useful when conserving fuel or in warm climates. Instant coffee stores well in airtight containers and resists humidity better than ground beans. It also packs light and takes up minimal space in lockers. For those who don't want to give up their morning ritual or caffeine boost during offshore passages, instant coffee remains a reliable and satisfying option that doesn't need refrigeration, grinding, or a lot of fuss. When plain water starts to get boring or hydration needs a boost, powdered drink mixes become invaluable aboard. These products, ranging from flavored lemonades to electrolyte blends, are designed to store for extended periods without refrigeration. Sealed in individual sticks or bulk canisters, they take up very little space and weigh next to nothing, yet they add flavor, essential minerals, and variety to daily water intake. Electrolyte mixes are particularly useful in hot climates or during heavy activity, helping replenish sodium, potassium, and magnesium lost through sweat. This can be critical on long passages or during physically demanding sailing days. Other mixes, like vitamin C packets or flavored teas, provide a touch of sweetness or nutrition and help combat taste fatigue. Storage is simple. Keep them dry and sealed, and they'll stay fresh for over a year. Some are formulated for low sugar or caffeine-free preferences, giving even more flexibility. For sailors who rely on water tanks or jugs, these mixes can turn even slightly stale-tasting water into something far more enjoyable. No refrigeration, no mess, just shake, stir, and drink. Sailing without a fridge might sound like a challenge, but with the right provisions, it becomes second nature. These 20 foods aren't just survival staples. They're the foundation for real, satisfying meals out on the water. They hold up to heat, humidity, and time, giving you freedom to roam without worrying about what's going to spoil next. Whether you're crossing a bay or an ocean, smart provisioning is what keeps the crew fed and morale high. Stocking these long-lasting ingredients means more peace of mind, less reliance on ice runs or marinas, and more time focusing on what really matters: sailing. So, pack smart, eat well, and stay salty out there.